Yeah, I'll start with the game. Big chance early for Chicho, and then we go down, and then of course it's two at half. And then that means the second half on a night where you have to win, you just got to go for it. You got to play on the edge. I thought we started the second half pretty well, but once again, give up a goal. And then in the other two moments when we got the 3-1 and then the 4-2, you got to get the next goal and really make it interesting. And every time we would push and make a goal, we just weren't able to defend a moment. And that idea of playing on the edge, that takes a lot of courage. The final score 5-2 has a lot to do with that's on me because I'm the one from halftime on saying, listen, we're going to keep pushing this game till the end. And I wanted to keep trying to push up the field, win the ball, get in the box. I thought we did a lot of that, so I give the guys credit. And like I said, 5-2 doesn't look good, but that part's on me. When I say that every time we would get a goal, we just weren't able to follow up and get the next one and really put pressure on them. That makes me think a little bit of the season because the inconsistent part where, at times we would feel like we were just about there and then we would make some big mistakes, not finish some chances, go back a little bit and then gather ourselves and keep going. Such an improbable year. I mean, in so many games, we still were the team pushing the game, creating the chances. Still, we've said so many times, though, that we didn't execute well enough, take advantage of the chances we created. We still hurt ourselves with mistakes and not always getting some saves. And that inconsistency is most disappointing. I think it started, I've said it a few times, for me, it started in August of 2020. I thought we were able to sort of get ourselves really focused for that end of the year Champions League run. But this year, inconsistent lineups, and just not feeling that we ever got momentum of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in a row where we just kept going and getting results. So at the end, I give the guys credit that in this last period, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks where we knew that now we were up against it. Even when we lost certain guys, there was a good, strong mentality for the group, but we came up short, and that part is hugely disappointing. I certainly speak directly to our fans and say that we let you down. You've always been there for us. We had a good group of away fans tonight, and of course, we thanked them. But the standards that we set for ourselves this year, we didn't meet those standards.
All right, thank you. Katya Castrina, go ahead, Katya.
Thanks. Hi, Bob. You mentioned it's on you, but in a game like this that you said it's a must-win and giving up 5 goals, how much did it hurt also the midfield not being able to find that balance? And I know it's a reflection of everything that happened throughout the season, but trying to control a little bit more the game.
Yeah, but Katya, it's hard to talk about control when you're down 2 because then you got to push the game, and so. Look, I think when we brought Carlos on, we made a decision at that point to move Cheeky to left back, try to take advantage of Raheem's mobility, and let Sifu be the guy who was a little bit more the orchestrator. I think at times that helped us. We certainly know Sifu's ability to get the ball from defenders and move up the field. Raheem certainly kept pushing himself through the game. So I think the midfield still pushed hard, but in many cases we would get up the field a little bit more and not quite be sharp enough, miss a pass, and then Colorado is a team that's built on counters. They obviously set up tonight with Jonathan Lewis as the main guy up front. He's very fast. He's a real threat when the balls turn over, and that was certainly a challenge when we're behind and forced to push the game, that they've got some real speed, and that's still where I think we let ourselves down. Having said that, there were moments, some of those goals we had people back. I mean, the one started with Fall in the corner, and we had people there, and we just, when we needed to defend some of those moments, we didn't do well enough.
And this, of course, it's part of the game, but it's a first for LAFC not making the playoffs. How will this just impact the club and kind of like help it grow?
Yeah, we have to bounce back. We have to respond. I think we're a team that's 4 years in. For a first-year team in 2018, there were a lot of really good things. It was really disappointing to lose at home to Salt Lake in the playoffs. A game where we pushed the game and had so many of the chances, but lost a 3-2 game that really you should never lose. 2019, I think there were periods during the year where our football was just incredible. That always makes me smile. The game against Seattle was a tough one again. And then we were so determined in 2020, and 2020 turned into just a start-stop routine. Early in the year, again, it was 4 games. It was Lyon away, Lyon home, Inter Miami and Philadelphia. Then a long period off, then MLS is back. Then that period that I keep referring to that started with the Galaxy game, mid to late August. And then a playoff game against Seattle where, we tried our best, but on the night, to beat Seattle in Seattle there that night, again, a game where we still hung in. We have a penalty. Obviously, Fry stoned Carlos on that one. And then this year is just incredibly difficult to put a finger on because, again, in terms of trying to play the football that we always played, we did every game. And a lot of games, man, we still were capable of doing some really good things. But the consistency, the ability to score the goals on the big chances, the ability to control games a little bit more, not make some of the mistakes. I mean, there's a number of games where even late, I think of Mora's header late against Portland, Dotson's late equalizer against Minnesota. I thought we played a really good game against NYCFC, and then we gave up a late goal on a ball that came through the first zone, and I think Tajuri Shradi was by himself in the back post. So there's too many of these kind of moments where even when we played well, we didn't take advantage of the good football so that if we got the lead, we added to it, and then we paid the price for mistakes. So that's the inconsistency that I always refer to.
And one last one for me. Of course, there are many things up in the air for what's to come, but what's that last message like from you to the group?
Yeah, it's not the last message because we'll still have to get everybody together. But I said, similar to what I said at the start of this press conference, I said, here's a quick few thoughts on the game tonight. And then that fits with, I think, the overall disappointment of not being the team that we all believe we should be.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, we'll go here. Last question to Andy. Go ahead, Andy Diosa.
Thanks, hey, Bob. I know you said earlier this season that obviously after the season is when you start having different conversations for what's forward for the team. You being there for 2019, like you mentioned, mountaintop, and I guess this are presumably low. Is your intention to continue with the project, or if you don't have an answer, when do those conversations happen in terms of urgency bouncing back from a season like this?
At the end of every season, then there's important conversations. And when you've had a disappointing year, those discussions take on a different tone. They're very important. So we'll see what comes from all of them.